On Thursday, the former president's sons, Donald Trump Jr. and Eric, delivered testimony in the New York City fraud trial. During Eric's testimony, he ended up contradicting himself over some financial statements provided to the company's in-house comptroller, Jeffrey McConney, about Trump's financial condition. These financial condition reports are central to Letitia James' case against Trump because these documents contain fraudulent valuations of Trump's assets that were used to obtain loans with more favorable terms. I mean, look, when you lie about your valuations, inflate your assets, for example, yeah, you get better interest rates. In fact, it's estimated that banks were cheated out of $168 million or up to $168 million or more of potential interest off the loans based on these fraudulent valuations. So now both Trump brothers were grilled on these documents that they signed off on containing the valuations. And while I talked about Don Jr.'s in previous segments, I'm actually going to talk more about Eric and how, oops, he got himself in trouble, getting tripped up by his own words. After claiming that he had never worked on the Trump Organization's statement of financial condition and wasn't aware of it until the bank fraud trial came to fruition, the dumber Trump brother, if you can believe it, admitted that he was in fact aware of it, dating as far back as 2013. In fact, he was basically presented some emails of his own that contradicted him. State Attorney Andrew Ammer pressed Eric Trump about an email from 2013, in which then Trump Organization controller Jeffrey McConney told Eric, quote, "I'm working on the notes to Mr. Trump's annual financial statement. Is it correct," Ammer asked, "that when you received this email in August of 2013, you understood that your father had an annual financial statement, and you understood that Mr. McConney was asking you for information to assist with notes for that financial statement?" Eric replied, "Yes." He then said, "I clearly understood that I sent notes to McConney." And then said, "I don't think that it ever registered that it was for a personal statement of financial condition." So, wait, what did you think that it was for? Shits and giggles? I mean, what do you think they're going to do with that information? Yes, they're asking for notes about financial notes, not like what you had for breakfast, all right? No, this is pertinent financial information they're going to use to draw up a statement of financial condition, which then gets submitted to banks as they consider you for loans, how much they're going to loan you, at what interest rates. Yeah, kind of important. But it gets better. See, after acknowledging in his testimony that he did indeed provide McConney with that information, he was shown a video from his own deposition. Yes, that's right. We get a situation of Eric versus Eric. In fact, in that video that they showed him, Eric said, quote, "I have no recollection of ever providing Jeff material to be used in a statement that I've ever seen." Oh, again, past Eric versus current Eric. So, of course, after he was shown that video, he then addressed the statement saying, quote, "I don't think it would have ever registered what the material was actually for." So, what are you talking about? I just didn't, man, it didn't click. I had no idea what it was for. I just gave him the information, man. Wait, you had no idea and you gave it the information anyway? That seems odd. That seems really odd. It's financial information pertinent to the business, right? You should at least have been a little curious as to what it's for, unless you're a moron or you're lying. I mean, of course, look, it's pretty easy to go the stupid, yeah, of course he's an idiot, right? Yeah, that can apply to quite a few things, but at the same time, when it comes to business, when it comes to making money, when it comes to valuations, no, I don't buy the excuse at all. I'm not buying it. Now, that said, this line of questioning started to get Eric a little irritated. perturbed, if you will. And look, the state attorney kept trying to show that Eric was more familiar with these documents than he had claimed to be. And yet he stuck with the defense, saying, in effect, and I'm going to paraphrase here, the defense that he's using is pretty much the same as Donald Trump Jr.'s. I don't know. I wasn't really involved. It wasn't really my job, to know this stuff. No, I made phone calls. I poured concrete. No, the idea that Eric Trump doing any sort of physical labor at all is preposterous. It's laughable.
Bullshit.
I'm not buying it. Not buying it at all. But then, it's like, I'm not really an accountant. I kind of had no idea what was going on in the register. I mean, look at me. I'm a big old dummy. I had no idea what these numbers were for. What numbers? I don't know. I thought they were just asking me to count. Again, ridiculous. Not buying it at all. You know who else isn't buying it? James, obviously. In fact, she put out a video on social media following the testimony of Don Jr. and Eric. And, I'm going to leave you with that.
As a trustee of the Donald J. Trump Revocable Trust, Donald Trump Jr. often made financial and business decisions on behalf of his father. He testified that he signed multiple documents confirming the accuracy of Donald Trump's statements of financial condition and the Trump Organization's compliance with loan terms. But those documents were not accurate, and he knew it. In fact, just a week after he was confronted with the truth that his father's triplex was 3 times smaller than the statement of financial condition said it was, Donald Trump Jr. continued to lie. He certified to the family's accountants that all the information he sent them was accurate, including the value of the falsely enlarged triplex. Next, Eric Trump took the stand and insisted that he had never heard about his father's statements of financial condition before our investigation. He told us his job was just to pour concrete. But his emails tell a different story. On multiple occasions over the years, Eric Trump worked on his father's statements of financial condition, and he was intimately involved in lying about the values of properties, like Seven Springs and Briarcliff, to make his father appear richer than he actually was. Next week, Donald Trump himself will take the stand. And while I am sure he will try to hide his wrongdoing behind taunts, threats, name-calling, we will not be bullied out of uncovering the truth.